My name's Jeb, and I'm live. I hope. Did you guys see the mystery box behind me? There is something back here. Marked fragile. Check this out. We're going to open it right now live. What do you guys think's in here? You got guesses? Anyone? Guesses? What do you think? We got high. Nobody has a guess? Tacos. Lamp and turds. One of those three. You know the fun thing about opening up a box live? Not only does everyone not really know exactly what's in it, I don't know what's in it. I mean, I know, but maybe they sent the wrong thing. Plus, it could be smashed in transit. Look, we got, what do you got? Where's the, see? Got a little fixer tape on here. Let's open this sucker. All right. Like I said, it could be smashed. It could be wrong. Doesn't matter. It's all for fun. If it was damaged in transit, then it is the shipper's fault. All right, who's got light fixtures? We're still guessing. Look at this. Okay, I have not opened this, I promise. There's wood in here. This is like this is important structural support material. This is a new one for me. Like plywood inside the shipping. I like that. Someone reinforced it. All right. Here's the moment of truth. Oh, I looked at it first. That was not right. Okay. Mars Hydro Grow Light. I am required to disclose that they are a sponsor of the channel. Disclosure complete. Let's take a look at this thing. You know, I'm going to turn this on. And if it doesn't turn on, you know, that would be exciting. So it's a rainy day here. How is it going for you guys? Lazy Saturday or different time zones? The button. I don't know what that means. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Check this out. I didn't really check the specs on this thing. You know, they said they wanted me to try a light. And I said, okay, just send me something. Send me something that will fit into a enclosed space. This seems just right. But they've got a bloom with some dandelions and a growth button. That's cool. All right, let me just plug this thing in and we'll see if it works. Who here has a Mars Hydro light or has experience with them? I haven't used them before. Obviously, you guys would have seen a video on it. All right, we've got the hanger things. Gotta have those. Computer power cable. Does anyone else see, when you see these cables, do you guys think, oh, a computer power cable? Or do you think a grow light cable? I'm going to turn it on. If it doesn't work, then that would be embarrassing for all of us. I do like the plywood. Computer cable, flower child. Who thinks grow light cable when they see it? Anyone? Or is someone just going to put that to get attention? All right. We're firing it up. There'll be a link in the description. I'm not going to talk the whole chat about this light, but it's pretty cool. There'll be a link in the description posted after if you want to check it out. But obviously this is for a video that'll be out in, I don't know, 90 days. Oh. Okay. It works. Woo! Oh. I promise I didn't plan that. So this is cool. So how does this work? Is this on bloom? Okay, so growth looks bluer. Yeah. And bloom looks redder. I don't know. I don't know if I follow the red blue stuff. I know that's popular knowledge. Gotta slow down. Slow down on the Guinness. Switch to this. I know this is obnoxious. We'll get that. If anything cool, I'll tell you what. If something cool or exciting happens, we'll turn the light on. And it'll be like, oh, and we'll have to sing a song. What do you guys think about that red blue stuff? For the when you flower, it's got to be red because that's how it is in autumn. Has anyone tried that? Like a side by side? Like I don't watch a lot of videos anymore. No. I don't know. I don't think I can do a side by side in 90 days. I think I need 2 lights for that. I like the side by sides. So I've got an idea for this light. I want you guys to help me out. I want to do a stealth grow. I know that could offend some people because, the idea might be the only reason to do that would be because you're doing something illegal. It doesn't have to be that, though. Maybe you just don't want people in your business. Maybe it's a surprise for somebody. Maybe you're a renter and your landlord. I guess that wouldn't be breaking the law. That would just be breaking the contract, your rental agreement. So for stealth grow, you have to decide, right? Okay, so anyways, the reason I would do it is just because it's fun and more exciting than just watching a plant grow. It represents cool engineering challenges. That's what I like about the stealth grow. It's just fun. I don't know. Maybe I'll put lavender or something. So I'll put garlic, something with a smell. So here's my idea. And I don't research much just because I'm lazy and it's fun to explore. And yes, I didn't draw it at all yet. Okay. This is super high tech. Okay, so the idea is you've got like a 45-gallon trash can. And we're going to mount the light. I assume I should hang it because the air, let's see, does the air blow out the top? Sometimes they suck in the top and then they blow out the sides. Sometimes they suck in the sides and blow out the top. You got to hit bloom to get the power lights. It's blowing out the top. So that's good. All right, so the light's mounted here. How would you guys mount it? Michael Coughlin, a gravity bin. So someone put a term on it? Would it be a space bucket or you give it a different name? Hazard Smurf 420 says sides. What do you mean? Mount it from the sides? I don't know what that means. I'm looking for ideas. Duct tape. Like I could use the hangers. I want to minimize, the lid, damage to the lid. So I could just suspend it right through these rod widgets. Zip ties, that's a good idea. How would you fix it to a trash can without punching a hole in it? Hazard Smurf 420 said, "Sorry, fan blows sides out." I mean, that's if it does. It felt like it was coming up. It may be different when the light isn't, sideways like this. Cable ties. Yeah, but how do you mount it in a trash can? I don't want to put holes in it. Minimizing holes. Screws, super glue. I'm thinking maybe PVC that's real tight. So that would be one way. Yeah, this will be like this is okay. So you could just rest it on a couple PVC pipes. Then it wouldn't be attached to the lid. I don't know if that's an advantage. Wedge the PVC. I don't. I mean, you risk your light coming down. Put 2 1x3 boards over the top so they hold it on top of the can. Yeah, you could put it on top, but that's, there's going to be, I don't know what you guys are thinking. This is stealth grow, man. Aren't you going to need that? I've seen people, they run a tube out, Okay, there's two ways. We're trying to mask the smell of this horrible lavender. It's bothers the neighbors. So there's 2 ways that you could stealth it. One would be you seal it in a box. I mean, you wouldn't use a box. You seal it in a room, but I'm not doing that. Sealed room, you need to add carbon dioxide, and then you need dehumidification, and then you need air conditioning. So, like, if you're doing all that stuff, obviously you're going to do it in a room. By the way, you guys getting your morning cup of Joe right now? So it's probably going to be carbon filter. The issue is that this I don't know if you guys know, this fan, if many of you may not be familiar with the idea of the carbon filter. So you got like a turbojet engine fan here, and the air is going to flow up, right? And then out, out the filter, whatever. And so then you'd have some intake here. And if your suction is enough, then these holes won't be a risk. I guess they could be higher if you've got a container. The fans are incredibly noisy. Oh, there's lots of good ideas in here. 2 40-gallon totes, upper, lower, like a space bucket. I think I got the trash can for the size of this light, right? So just air in, and then it'll just be ventilated. So then you don't need to add carbon dioxide and all that stuff. So, but again, how do you mount this thing here? You just wedge it, or you could stick these through. These are basically airtight. Okay, now here's the other thing. Okay, so I'm probably going to suspend it on PVC. I might just get lazy and just go through the lid. But that seems like, I don't know, that defeats the purpose. And now I take the lid off and the light and the fan comes up. So I think I want to rest it on something. And then what about the can? Are you guys opposed to foil? Like, why does everyone hate on aluminum foil? It's cheap. It's extremely easy to work with. It reflects like crazy. I know it wears out, but it costs $1. Like, you could just replace it for each grow. And everyone loves their white paint. Like, how big a hassle is painting the inside of a trash can? Tech Plant says white paint diffuses better than tin foil. Like, have you guys observed a hot spot? Does that even exist? That sounds like I'm not convinced on the hocus pocus of this. This is Guinness here. I would say not a sponsor of the show, but you guys know people are just required to disclose if it is a sponsor. Like, not a sponsor, that doesn't really tell you anything. You're supposed to make it clear of the people that give you money, not the people who don't. Okay, so I'm probably going foil. And the people are like, well, what about Mylar? Okay, so here's the thing with the light, okay? So the light's going to come blasting down like this. Your plant's in a bucket. We'll get dandelions like they had. If all the light is coming from the top, you'll get an oddly shaped plant. You'll get a plant shaped like this. Like all the growth is up here on top. And it'll kind of be unhealthy. So if you reflect it, you'll get a nicely, we'll put some flowers on this. You get a nicely shaped plant if the light comes from all directions. Anyone got any ideas other than Mylar, foil, and white paint? Like white paint, so you wash it, you spray it with bleach, Speedy Mary. Mirrors. I mean, yeah, if it was flat. No, mirrors would be great. I mean, if you had, but like, what would you have, wall to wall? I mean, you couldn't do it in a trash can, a round trash can. Emergency blankets. So that's like Innocent Industries says emergency blankets. That's like Mylar, basically, right? Do you use the sticky glue spray? What do you use to keep it on there? Tape? It just seems like that'd be a huge hassle. Flexible mirrors. Bad Dude 93 says get 6 lights and make a box. Yeah, it's hard to make, it takes more time to make stuff. I'd rather use a trash can. And visually, can you imagine the thumbnail? Do you guys think it's a problem that YouTube poisons our curiosity? Like, there might be a best way to do it, but I'm like, no, I'm going to use the trash can because the thumbnail will get 1 million clicks. So like, I'm altering my behavior for YouTube. It somewhat doesn't bother me because it's really fun to make something that looks cool, like a spaceship or rocket or whatever. Okay, so I'm using tinfoil. Forget all your ideas. I like the mirrors idea because if you had flat walls or box, they're covered in glass. So you spray them down with bleach in between. It'd be heavy and but if you're not moving it, it doesn't matter. Okay. How about this? What would you guys prefer seeing? Hydro or, soilless mix kind of thing? The hydro has so many advantages, especially because it's supposed to be stealth. You can have boxes of dirt and stuff. Nutrient changes would be a hassle, or you got to reach in and get your tub out, take all this stuff out, reach in, get the tub, put it in. So like DWC, we got a lot of hydros, but that's just because you guys are Jeb Gardner people. Why would we do crack key? Unless it was for noise. The filtration is like a jet engine. So really we need a muffler up there, right? Keep it compact, not so tall. Gadget face, this thing, I don't know. I don't know what the watts are. Is it on here? Let's take a look at this thing. This thing will be too hot to be in a. I forgot what you're saying. To keep it not so tall. That's a real challenge. All right. I don't know the watts. I'll put it somewhere. Because it says 400, but that's like equivalent type stuff. It might be 150 watts. That's just a guess. It'd be too hot if it was too close. Fogoponics. One exciting experiment at a time. Apply the foil and make it stick. I mean, I just crush it in there. Just smush, 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 smush. There, the foil's done. I am going to wear gloves. Is that making me feel weak? Sound weak? I always cut my hands when I use foil, and I'm careful. Okay, so just like a storage tote, what would we do in here? I mean, you could use the trash bucket, but your nutrient changes are a super challenge. You'd put the holes up higher. You could make a crazy thing and then have stuff to hold it up. Jet engine on side. Too much work. No, it wouldn't be that hard. It's just trash can, and you just throw your stuff in. Wouldn't take that long. Some kind of refill pipe. I was just thinking top it, you got your tote, and then you just gotta get you a good Kirkland vodka bottle. Now you've got refill to last a day. You check it each day. Water in trash can, but like it's going to be indoors. So are we bringing hoses and buckets in? I can carry 10 gallons. So the 12-gallon Kirkland Square, it's the same one I used on the crazy cucumber one that was in the corner. Almost certainly use that. Thomas Suck says you won't be able to lift it up all the time. Yeah, I can. I mean, yeah, I can pick it up. Who else has an idea for the stealth bucket, or what would it be called when it's a trash can? A space can? A trash bucket? Do they have a name for it? You guys don't know? What else are you guys talking about? Who has something in there? Oh, Mars bucket. That'd be cool. I like that. I think it could work. Space can, space bucket, space waste. Spalding 1250 says space waste. What about the noise? Who's used one of these carbon filter fans? They sound like a turbo engine, taking off. It's like the airplane taking off. I've seen two ways people do it. Oh, Rob says I have. Okay, Rob's the expert. Tell us about the filtration fans. There's no way around it being loud, I don't think. So I'm pretty sure you can put. I think people can put a muffler here. They have muffler things. I mean, that's expensive. It's like a tube with walls or whatever. I'm thinking build a box, right? A muffler box. It's just like a big. I mean, it could even be cardboard. And then just line it with foam. Right? And then have the air come out the back so it doesn't go up. Propaganda says make a soundproof box, Jeb. I mean, it just seems difficult. Line it with foam rolled newspaper. Use rock wool to muffle. That'd work. I think just the foam is anything. 2 boxes with spray foam in between. Boy, Boy, Rob's been growing some stuff, huh? Egg containers. Yeah, I used the acoustic foam panels, and those are really expensive. I used that for another project. Like really, it's just mega expensive. So I think maybe the stuff that people will sleep on, they get a egg mattress. That stuff would be fine, right? Okay, Guilty Pleasure says just buy a low noise fan. You can hardly tell they're on. And it blows hard through a carbon filter. Because I used a hyper fan for something. And they're supposed to be super quiet or all that BS. The thing sounds like a 747 taking off consistently. Carbon is the issue. It's so dense. Yeah, you need pressure to push through that. Okay, PC fans. Yeah, but how do you get PC fans to blow through filtration? Like, will that really stop smell? It seems like it would you wouldn't get enough suction. EC fan, oversized. The inline fans are quiet, says Daryl Quenzel. I don't know. They cost more, right? If they're noisy. Okay, so do we figure it all out? We're gonna have muffler box. All right. I'll surprise you, but here's what I'm thinking. Cardboard box. Does it need foam? Could you just use 2 cardboard boxes or would it just hum like a piano box? Get the foam on it. Suspend this thing with the tubes across. I just don't want to pierce the top of it to hang it. Do you guys glue those up with spray foam, or what do you do? Here where the light attaches. Well, there has to be a hole because power comes out. So I guess power will come down here, run it as close as possible to the water. That's a joke. You guys are coming up with a lot of joke ideas. Sounds like you're bored of that. What should I grow in there? What would be interesting? It's got to grow in 60 days. I could buy a plant. I was thinking like some kind of aromatic flower. Like I'll have some lavender soon. I don't know if it'll be ready in time. Peppers. It's I want to be able to test for the smell. Lavender. Should I put? I guess dandelions don't smell that one. Oh God, garlic and Thyme would be cool. It's not very visually, it needs to be visually impressive. We got to get clicks here, people. Give me a plant. Mint is a good choice, and the mint flowers are very triangular. I've done a lot of basil. Nobody will click that. Sunflower's too tall. Oregano too short. I like being picky. I like the idea of dill. I don't know if I can get a plant to flower that. Will it flower that fast? Dill. And I think it might be too tall still. The stalk is like 3 feet tall. Okay, so Momomo says aloe. Saffron, isn't that that's not a big flower. What about something in a bulb? Would that be cool? like tulips or daffodils or whatever. Hydroponic bulb. Oh yeah, I could do. I'm in California. I could do the state flower. That'd be funny. People would be offended by that. Get some. Nobody's put the state flower of California here. Broccoli's not a bad idea, but it doesn't smell like that bad. What about a patch of the state flower? Is that? I mean, does anyone do that? I don't know if I may not pick that. It may be a little too edgy. Michael Coughlin, I'm in Minnesota. What's the joke? My guess is because it's a poppy, and people could grow poppies illegally. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be attached to that. I might do dill instead. I do want to do poppy sometimes. It's a beautiful flower. We can't have a poppy? Tobacco. Does it really smell? I have no idea. I know the leaves are sticky. You know what's, yeah, it's funny. Because most people grow weed with these lights. I mean, we all know that. I mean, come on now. So, like, why should I be offended to do tobacco? But, you know, it's not my favorite plant in the world. Any other ideas? Corpse flower might take a little too long. Something unique. Yeah, I think the bulb ones. Have you guys seen the bulbs at I think I've only seen them at Costco. It's a bulb and then it's sitting in water. It's pretty cool. It's a good marketing strategy. I don't know what the shelf life on them are. Ken Bone says wasabi. I do want to do wasabi. I don't think it smells, and I don't want it to fail. I need to do something that won't fail because I need to get the video out. We got deadlines to meet here. Oh, Mumu says the wasabi is too hard, needs running water. Okay. Anytime I hear a plant is too hard and this and that, I don't know. I bet you it ain't that hard. You just crack it. This grows great. But I haven't tried it. Orchid, isn't that like a tree? I don't know what orchids look like. Science, etc. says, do you pH your hydroponic water? No, not anymore. Do you guys want to talk about pH? Who wants to hear about pH and how come I don't care? I'll give you 5 seconds to decide. All right, nobody said no. Can't be that bad. The reason I'm cautious on pH is in my first hydroponic lettuce video, I was all on the pH and I had lemon juice, just like indoor hydroponics, John, like he does. I thought that was cool. So I did the pH thing, and maybe I talked too long, or maybe the camera was shaky, but the viewership dropped off right when I got out the pH pen. Everyone was like, "Oh man, get me out of here, nerd," or whatever reason. And then I realized in my next grow that the master blend 3-part, it puts the tap water, it puts it close to what you need. But knowing that the fertilizer drops the pH. So the question is, if I'm lazy and you know, what if someone doesn't have a meter or whatever? Well, you could just add more fertilizer, right? So the issue with pH, one of the issues is at different pH, certain nutrients are more available to the plants. And each nutrient has some optimal pH where most of it's available. And so if your pH is too far off, even though the nutrients are there, they may not be available. for the plant to take up. So everyone wants to get it perfect at whatever perfect is for certain plants, 6.2 or whatever it's supposed to be. But the reality, I think, is it's more important. I mean, that's cool if you got time and you're into that, and it won't hurt, is to provide a consistent environment. So you start adding acid to lower the pH, and then the acid breaks down or evaporates or whatever happens, and the pH goes up, and you're messing with it every couple days. Why don't you just add more fertilizer? People say, well, if you just keep adding more fertilizer, then you'll get too much salts and then you'll burn your plants. But if you already run your EC low, and then you see something's wrong in the new growth, it's because the EC is too low, because you started low and it's only going to get lower. So if the pH changes and now you basically your nutrients are even less available, what they need is more nutrients. The plant doesn't know that it needs less pH, so you could just add more fertilizer, just a little more. What do you guys think? Will that work? Massive Aggressive says, what about rice? That would be super cool. I don't know in the space bucket if rice is the thing. And I guess it flowers. Does it? I assume it makes some kind of flower. I don't really know the life cycle of rice. I think I want some kind of flower. It'd look good visually too. What else do we got? Because newt raise your pH, the phosphorus. Is it the phosphorus that does it? So I don't care. I just add equal amounts each time. Jimmy Dore is live in half an hour, Jeb. That's hilarious. Well, this is over in 20 minutes. They're always an hour. You can get your Jimmy, whoever that is. Mushrooms. Yeah, I need to do something that I'm already skilled in, because I have to get I have to get it out on time. How would you guys do hydroponic rice? I would grow it on a window screen. Like this, bam. I know that's how I would do it, because if you wanted to commercially make hydroponic rice, you would grow it on some kind of screen. You would have no media. That'd be way too expensive. So, okay, so hydroponic rice, let's do this. Who's grown rice? Coffee J and rice is a grass. Okay, I don't know. Sure. Isn't rice already grown in water anyway? Yeah. But does that have no flaws? The way rice is grown right now is perfect just because people did it for hundreds of years? It could be improved. What if you had a lake of hydroponic nutrients, and then you had floating screens on it? People wouldn't be out there putting, knee deep in mud, putting, right? You could just move the screen or the rafts that are floating with the screens on it. Rice uses so much water. Is that because the ponds they're in are not sealed, right? If it was hydroponic, then it would use less water. Before discussing hydroponic rice, I probably should have done some research, but I don't care. All I've seen is a field. You guys will be shocked at how little research I do, because I'm lazy and I don't have time, but it's also just fun to discover things. And then someone else gets to feel smart when they tell you how it is and they're right. Okay, and yes, if you have a lake, natural processes. No. You make a lake. Because stuff leaks out the bottom, right? Okay, you could do it on a natural lake. Aquaponic rice on a lake. But you still would need to suspend it somehow. I know people have like floating, people do they make floating rafts out of whatever, straw and stuff. I'm thinking industrial. Let's do this. Okay, hydroponic rice needs more research. But what if it was aquaponic rice? Would that be cool? Maybe you could use like catfish. Everyone's like rice grows in water anyways. Yeah, I know. Hydroponic weeds, no one does that. I do want to do dandelions sometime because dandelions seem super easy, but they have a taproot like a carrot. And also it's a dandelion. So would you want to do net cups with rock wool or buckets of perlite? You know what I mean? So dandelion, that would be fun. And the flavor would be milder. My family in Italy eats dandelions. No joking. Yes, bonsai. Haiku king, I noticed you. But doing bonsai is a skill, and I'd embarrass myself. I guess that could be funny. Do bonsai with no research, and then do it not on a tree, but do it on a bonsai tomato. I don't know what you would do. It'd be fun. Okay, Prestige Class says, in place of a screen for the hydroponic rice, why not put them in something like a shop brush facing up? Would hold the rice and be reusable. Well, no, that might work. The thing is, from the start, I like to think of scale because it's easy to have solutions where you can use an expensive item, like turn a broom upside down and grow your rice, but some giant floating screen, you could scale that, and you could make rice. I bet you it would taste very good, hydroponic rice. Okay, no more rice. What about jasmine? That's a good choice. Alan Nguyen, jasmine tea. How big does jasmine grow? Like a couple feet tall? Ooh, what about tea in the bucket? Does tea smell? Or that's kind of like a big tree. Jasmine gets too tall. Can you UK here we grow says jasmine gets too tall. Can you hack it down? Marigold. A marigold would be cool. Um, I don't know. I have a lot of marigolds floating around the garden. It just doesn't seem too exciting. It is a climber. What about hydroponic hops? I've never grown hops. I've seen they're, a giant tall vining, I guess they're vining-ish plant. Wouldn't that be fun? Do hydroponic hops, hydroponic barley, make you some hydroponic beer. Like, has anyone here grown hops? Hops is it's one of those things where people get fussy about the environment. They're like, no, it has to be on a hill or altitude or whatever rules people come up with. Or it's in hydroponics and it'll just grow amazing and then monstrous in size, regardless of your climate. That's just my guess. Hydroponics hops has already been commercialized. What do they do? Like big rock wool slabs, something big and expensive and wasteful. Beansy says edible acres grows hops. LOL as natural fencing. George Henry Moore says, hops grow in every hedge in the Netherlands. Okay. Are hops fussy? Why is everyone? Is it hard? Mam 546 says nasturtium. That's not bad. Can you get them to grow in like I mean it's about 60 days. I have to build this thing and then I gotta, edit. It takes a couple of weeks to edit a video unless you got lots of time. Figs is way too big. I think that tobacco is a wonderful grow, says Garbled User. What isn't that? Wouldn't that be too large? Can you just prune it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really a tobacco fan. I don't think I guess I should. It's an interesting plant, and you can use it for pesticide stuff. High cooking blueberries. I do want to do blueberries. I would like that. That takes time. Amishai Miller says, any tips for taking care of indoor palm plants in soil, I assume, right? No, I have no idea. Do people do, you mean like as decorations? It has natural light? How does that work? It's funny, some of you must have very distinct icons because I keep seeing the same names with interesting thing, and then I feel bad. It's like I'm not sharing. Someone says hydroponic peas could be fun. I did peas in my winter video. You gotta get me on Patreon to watch that one. Sweet peas, and they had the nodules. Mam 546 says nasturtiums take between 35 and 52 days to flower. Are they photoperiod sensitive? Because I mean that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. I didn't think they were. Oh hey Bobby Duke Arts, good to have you here. Start a bonsai, but I mentioned I'm unskilled. I would embarrass myself, so I should just do it and be humiliated. That would be good. What about bonsai figs? Could you get a fig tree? Because those things grow super tall, like way up there. So to do a fig tree bonsai indoors, hydroponic under lights, would that get people's attention? You think I could get it to grow a fig though? What do you guys think? Are you guys Bobby Duke Arts fans? It's good to have you here. So no chance on the fig. That sounds like a challenge. UK, here we grow. Like, could I get a fig fruit if I was allowed 3 feet and then I trimmed it and bent it and stuff? I think you could do it. Grow saffron and make paella. That sounds really good. I considered saffron, and that's good. I'm pretty sure it's a bulb plant. From what I read, is it's not difficult to grow. It's a high labor cost for pulling the little stigma or anthers or whatever you pull out of there. Does anyone grow? I mean, do people grow saffron to use? It seemed like you need a field and then you need cheap labor, or you can make one meal for a large cost. And then getting the bulbs, I thought that was expensive too. Are the bulbs easy to get? Andy S grows saffron. Ooh. So what's the deal with saffron? It's just the labor, right? You don't have to be in Afghanistan or Turkmenistan to grow saffron. I think it's because they do well at okay, I'm totally unknowledgeable, but that makes it fun because then you can be wrong and be embarrassed and corrected. I think it's because like the altitude is high, and then you've got cheap labor. I don't think it has anything to do with opium, just because they both have bulbs. Saffron needs to bake in the sun, get dry in order to flower. Is that really true, Andy? I mean, I hear this stuff, and I'm sure some of it's true. You grow it, or you say you do. Is it like a stress response? Why would it need to bake in the sun? Anyone else grow saffron? Takes all year to bloom a tiny saffron. Yeah, I think that is true. Open the mystery boxes. Is there more boxes? What are you talking about? Did you guys like the box opening? Was that fun? Did anyone think it would be something other than a grow light? I did actually not open it. I had no clue if it would be smashed to bits or not work. Soybeans. Yeah, soybeans are photoperiod sensitive and large, so I really want to do them because people want to see that. But I tried to start soybean seeds twice, right back here, and none of them bloomed. I thought the first one was because the seed was bad. I'm not a very good gardener. I don't know if you've noticed. I do wacky things, but I'm goofy. It's funny. The way my shirt folds here looks really disturbing. The eyeballs are better. There you go. Yeah, so I tried to do some kind of like hydroponic soybean germination because I with radish seeds I was able to just submerge them in water and then you just pull them out when they just sprout. And it's super cool. And then you feel like you broke the rules. So I tried that with the soybeans and I didn't really think it through because the starchy whatever they are, the starch bags, they soak up water and explode. You can't sprout beans. You can't let beans sit, bean seeds sit resting in pure water for days and days. They rot. So I learned that. Oops. Steen Josak, Jeb, what could I plant outside in Washington State during January? Well, it's icy, right? I mean, so is that a trick question? Is there something that you can put in January? I mean, I guess you could put if you don't have snow on the ground, you could put trees. Bare root trees. Is that a good one? Have you ever grown coffee? I do want to grow coffee, hydroponic coffee, and then process it. You guys ever watch? Is it David the Good? I haven't watched him in a while. He did a cool thing where he grew coffee, and then he processed it himself. He's sitting with his wife, and you have to get the stone out of the middle of the bean. He's popping them, he's biting them, spitting it in a bucket, and she's got like the board. She's trying to smash them. It's hilarious. Make sure you check out his channel after you check out Mars Hydro link that I have to find right after this. Okay. Lily of the Valley, UK, here we grow. Is it because that's poisonous? Or, I mean, like, what? Why would you pick that? George Henry Moore, now that is limited to a certain area of the world, isn't it? Coffee? I don't know. Okay, I'm not super I don't get to test a lot of this, but I get hunches, and a lot of times they're right. And I think the thing with these fussy plants is like, yeah, if you're just going to grow it in dirt and give it a little something, and then low cost, kind of thing, then maybe coffee just needs to be grown in certain areas. Because plants like certain temperatures and humidities more than others, and then there's altitude effect and pests or whatever, and having cheap labor, but like something like coffee, you don't think it would just grow like mad? I'm in Southern California here. It's like desert-ish. And so coffee won't grow because it's too dry. But what if it has unlimited water? I bet you it'll grow just fine. Can we get a coffee company to make like a bet with me? Or because it is costly to do these projects in time and stuff. Coffee's a treat. Yeah, I'll just do it in a trash can. It's just 55-gallon trash can or a water barrel. Let's do this. Hydroponic coffee. I'm ready. Coffee also needs shade. I got shade cloth. Why does it need shade, by the way? Like, I know people do it in tropical regions under under tree cover. I don't know why. Beansy, what's the oldest hydro system you have that's run consistently? Try Black Riffle Coffee Company. Those dudes are rad. Oh yeah, will they sponsor me to grow some coffee and then sell it? What's the oldest hydro system? You mean that's like that's running and still running? Because everything's kind of broken down now, you know. I lost my office. I can't have like a 3-year plant going. I could have something here, but new stuff comes in every time. The consistent stuff is the longer you go, the crack key gets riskier. But if your tote's big enough, that you're completely forgiven. Coffee J.N., it's a low-growing tree. Did I miss why you need shade? Someone says, do dragon fruit. I will send you the seeds. Oh, that's nice. I have a friend I can get cuttings from. I do want to do dragon fruit. Hydroponic, of course. Gen Z 521 says habaneros. I'm doing that right now. That video didn't get much publicity. If you look on my channel, it's like 3 videos back. I start habanero plant in a janitor closet. Or room that looks like a janitor closet. Well, we're getting close to the end. We got 3.5 minutes. Who's got something super exciting before we go? Something super, super amazing. Coffee takes 3 to 5 years to produce. Am I just an overconfident dummy? I don't believe that for a second. Is it because it's a tree and you got to get it to size? If it's hydroponic, won't it grow just monstrous and crazy? Like people say strawberries, you have to wait a year, and we all know that's not true. You get some the first year, you get plenty. And there's people picking all the strawberries off their plants like, oh, I'm making it stronger. I guess. Or you just eat them, let them grow and eat those berries. Coffee Jan says there's a limit on how fast it can grow. I got to grow some coffee, some California poppies, bonsai fig trees, and jasmine and hops. Hydroponic trees would be interesting. Yeah, it's not practical, but I think you could support it with some like a rebar. You know, once it gets all in, if you had some kind of like you had a rebar, hopefully this isn't some symbol I'm going to get busted for. So you have I have paper here. Sorry, we don't have time to figure out how to do a hydroponic tree. I mean, I thought about it because I could take the tree indoors and outside, and you'd have to prune the roots or whatever. What do we got here? All right, hydroponic trees. How would you guys hold it up? I'm just thinking you just need like a crisscross of rebar, right? And then the tree grows out of here. Okay. This is on some giant container. And then you just need a collar here, right? Attached to something. Because the going back and forth is the issue. And then how come it has to be suspended? I mean, could you just plop it in a big, in a big tub without this, with just the support? I think it might work. Roots don't mind sitting in water. They have no problem as long as they're alive. Oh, wow. 1 minute left. Who's got something super interesting to share? No, the roots would need O2. Oh, you guys arguing about how to do coffee? I'll read all these comments afterwards. You guys are hilarious. Okay, so last chance. What should I grow in the bucket? Just throw it out there. Something real. So, and yes, Haiku King. Yes, grapes. I saw it. Durian. I think that's a tree, though. Well, it's been great chatting with you guys. And I have the my name's Jeb at the start. I need a cool end line. I was doing thanks for watching, but that triggers people that the video is over and then they leave early. So you have to shock them. It's a tactic. All right, thanks everyone. You guys have a great afternoon or night, wherever you are. The button has not appeared. There it is.